Yo, what is up, everybody? How the hell are you all doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Bean Dip Podcast. It's a windy day today. I have my window slightly open because it gets hot as hell in my room. I don't know, it just collects heat, dude. So you guys might hear a little bit of outside, you might not. I'll find out later when I'm editing. So let's get this going. I don't know if any of you heard. I'm sure you have. It's like all over YouTube. This whole situation with Brendan Schaub, Kalila, and Tiger Belly, and I guess you could add in Annie Letterman. It's a shit show, man. It's a shit show. Nobody is winning in this situation. I guess this starts back in this episode with I think it's called Trash Tuesdays or something like that. It's a podcast with Kalila, Bobby Lee's girlfriend, Annie Letterman, and Esther Pavitsky. I think that's her last name. And I guess in this episode, I don't really watch the show, okay? So I don't really know the full context behind the show, how they got to that subject. But I guess Annie Letterman comes out where she says that Brendan Schaub tried to ask her to walk him to his car for some reason, to his truck. I don't know. And she kind of made a smart remark like, why? So I could suck your unfunny dick, And, in that episode, they don't actually say Brendan Schaub's name. They just kind of tell about the story and they kind of hint at who it is, but everybody knows who they're talking about. Everybody. I think one of the hints where he's not funny, and it's like, bro, what comedian is out there that's known, or, popular or whatever, and as known as not funny. Literally, Brendan Schaub is the only comedian that has that image on his name, or that idea. Okay, so that happened, and in that same episode, Kalila adds on by saying, oh, that same guy 3 years ago hit me up during New Year's, and he tried to say, what's up, what are you doing, trying to hook up, and we're both with our families. Okay, so that clip of the show escalated, and I guess Brendan Schaub, he came out with his special recently, and it didn't do well. I think it received like a 1.7. I fucking never remember what that shit's called. It's either IMBD or IMDb. It's IMDb. Yeah, IMDb gave it a 1.7. I'm gonna check this shit right now. Give me 1 second. It gave him it did horrible. The reviews were horrible, and I believe he received. I think the special received like a lot of bad critics. I think in terms of likes and dislikes, the dislikes were double the likes. Yeah. Oh no, my bad. It actually received a 1.1. Yeah, dude, 1.1. That's fucked. And I don't even know what to say, dude. Like, I saw some of it. I want to see his first special just to see if he improved. I think from what I heard, I'm gonna go check the other one. I think his first special actually received a higher oh yeah, his first special received a 1.6, so it's not that much better. But anyway, he's been getting all this this bad shit, about him. Everybody's just talking shit on him. And dude, honestly, I don't know the dude, but from how it sounds like, he doesn't sound like the brightest dude. and I guess he's like had allegations of cheating on his wife, kind of burning his own friends in some respect. And so I guess because of that whole clip with Trash Tuesdays and him being mentioned, it came out that I think he was attempting to sue them. And I think they responded in another episode saying basically, bring it, bitch. We'll fucking go after you. And it was getting even worse and worse, to the point where Brandon Schaub, his team and his homies, or maybe one of his friends, also known as Brian Callen, another comedian, came after Bobby and started talking shit on him and threatening his career and all that. And, it's bad. And so it's just I'm just going to give you guys this timeline of what's been going on. Okay. And after this, I'll give my opinion, because it's long, man. It's a bunch of BS. It's like kid shit almost. And so I guess after his dropping, after his special and everything, he goes on Flagrant 2, which is Andrew Schultz's podcast, and Andrew Schultz asks him about the lawsuit. Are you suing them? What's going on? Blah, blah. Puts Brendan Schaub on the spot to, talk about the situation. And I guess because he mentioned it, Bobby and Kalila had an interview on Ethan Klein's podcast, H3. And, Bobby was totally hesitant and not willing to talk about the whole situation. Knowing knowing how much further it can go and knowing how bad it can get for all parties, But Kalila was the one trying to push it and talk about it, and which eventually she got her way, and they were talking about it. And in some way, well, let's just say this. At first, they reveal how bad it got between both parties, Brendan Schaub and his side threatening Bobby Lee, and Bobby Lee and his side kind of just like, what the fuck, and it was all bad. So I guess they came out with an episode on Tiger Belly yesterday or today, talking about everything. It was Brandon Schaub on Tiger Belly, just talking about it all, okay? And you know what, dude? Like I said, I'm not the biggest Brendan Schaub fan, but I feel bad for the guy. It's a difficult situation, especially for a guy like that who was pretty much an athlete. He was solely an athlete, before being a comedian. And from what I know, when it comes to athletes, if once your career is over, let's just say any random athlete, basketball, football, what's known about these guys is when their career is over, a lot of the times they have no other direction of how to survive, what to do in this life. They've been training as athletes their whole lives. That's all they know. So for a guy like Brendan Schaub, a guy who's been training to be an athlete his whole life, he goes on to Joe Rogan's podcast. Joe Rogan gives him the hard truth, basically saying, bro, you need to retire. You're not that good. Your career is not going to go anywhere. And so, they encouraged him to get into comedy, because they said he's naturally funny or whatever. I don't know what the fuck, who gave him, I don't know, maybe it was Rogan. I have no idea. But he gets into comedy. 2 or 3 years into his career, he drops a special, which is not the best idea, bro. That's not enough time to do anything with comedy. You don't really know how good or not you are on stage, and from what I hear comedians say, you need 10 years, before you drop a special. So anyway, he gets in that, his comedic career has not been the greatest, okay? And, people are just on his ass. And, yeah, I feel bad for the guy, you know, because how do you come out of this? You know, for one, you're lying about a bunch of stuff. You're trying to lie that what Annie Letterman said about you isn't true, you know, and it came out in the show that, like, I guess him and his team said that they have like 300 pages of evidence that Bobby and Kalila and their team are the ones that started the bashing on his name and this and that, and it's shit, bro. You know what I mean? It's all shit. He looks bad. You know, I don't know how he's gonna grow from this, and you know, I think my take on it is, besides feeling bad for him, dude, I don't know if I could stand Bobby Lee's girlfriend Kalila. You know, I know she gets like a lot of hate saying that she's like a gold digging bitch. I don't think she's a gold digger, but I think she's, maybe these aren't the right terms. I think she's taking advantage of the platform that she has, which includes Bobby Lee, which elevates her platforms, you know? Like, I was talking to my friend about this, and yeah, he's going in on Schaub, and I was like, dude, I totally get it, dude. That guy's dumb, dude. He looks dumb in all this. He looks ridiculous, you know? But what does that say about Kalila, who's supposed to be known as a smart person, you know, and makes a dumb decision by not giving a fuck about Bobby Lee and how it's going to affect him, and just putting everything out there? You know, to me, I think that's some bullshit on her. And honestly, I don't think fans are going to go after her because, you know, Bobby Lee is way too adored, you know, which I think that protects her, you know. And yeah, I know they say people on Reddit talk shit, but dude, I don't know. Who the fuck cares about Reddit? I never really known about Reddit or anything until this whole situation. And so, to me, it just looks bad on, yeah, Schaub automatically, but I think Kalila needs some heat for about how she goes about things, you know? I don't know if it's her and Bobby Lee's, like, kind of bit or thing where she kind of, like, undermines him and kind of, like, low-key throws him under the bus a lot of the times. You know, I don't know if that's their thing, but I don't know her, but I just don't like her. I guess. You know? To me, it's like, you know what, girl? Like, you made this shit worse. You know, you didn't like help anything out. You know, the situation between you and Brandon happened 3 years before whatever between him and Annie Letterman, between them, okay? You just added that on just to be part of the conversation, you know? And the even worse part for me about it, because I was listening to the podcast today, was that, like, you know, when she threw out that, like, oh yeah, you know, that same guy 3 years ago hit me up on New Year, blah, blah. Dude, what came out is, like, he apologized sometime after that incident, and they squashed the beef. They're like, you know, and he even said he went to rehab or whatever the fuck, therapy or some shit. They squashed it. And so to me, that's fucked up. You know, it's like, you know what, homegirl? That was squashed beef. That's water under the bridge. You know, you don't mention something that's squashed. You know what I mean? When something's cool, you leave it out. Let Annie Letterman have her little whatever might have happened between. Let that happen. But because you opened your fucking mouth about something that shouldn't have been spoken about, now it turned into something ugly. You know, and I just don't think that's cool, because, you know, my friend, we're talking about it, and, you know, he was saying, like, basically, like, she has her own success besides Bobby. And I was like, you know what, dude? That may be true that, yeah, she helped build Tiger Belly. But let's just say Bobby Lee wasn't on Tiger Belly. Who would she be then? Nobody would know her. She would just be another podcaster. And, you know, if it goes along with my point, what I was telling him is like, look, bro, like, even now in the situation that's going on, nobody is talking about Kalila. They mentioned Kalila with Bobby Lee. Okay? If this was a situation where it was just Kalila and Brendan Schaub, nobody would give a fuck. If she was not associated with Bobby Lee, nobody would give two shits. And so now what the narrative is, I guess, now it's Bobby Lee versus Brendan Schaub. You know, Bobby Lee gets they're calling it bullying. I don't like that word, bullying. Bro, bullying. Some dudes really need to chill on that shit. Okay, like I understand, like some people talk shit, but you guys really need to relax on that word, bullying. You know, to me, bullying is when somebody is repetitively being picked on for a character, some kind of characteristic about themselves. You know, maybe this little kid is a small kid or nerdy looking or whatever, and people pick on him for that. That's being bullied. Okay, if somebody's coming at you just talking shit, just trying to like, you know, get it through your head of what's going on, that is not bullying, bro. That is confronting somebody. That's confrontation. You know, I just hear people use the word bullying so much that I just don't understand that, okay? You know, like, relax a little bit, okay? The one party is going through distress, you know, and you have to understand that. You know what I mean? So they're trying to defend themselves. You know, I love Bobby Lee, but they called it that Brian Callen was bullying him. Like, come on, bro. That's not bullying, dude. You know, what Callen was doing, granted, I know what Callen did and Schaub, the way they went about it was all wrong, dude. It was all wrong. They overreacted. You know, but I also think that, you know, Kalila was irresponsible the way she handled the whole situation because, you know, what does she have to lose? What, your podcast will get canceled or you'll lose dude, you got nothing to lose. To me, I think Bobby Lee has way more to lose and he's not even part of it. You know, Hollywood are such sensitive bitches that who knows what things that are happening behind closed doors that they might use against him, which he can no longer, you know, maybe receive any, you know, movie roles or casting, whatever, you know what I mean? And that's fucked up because a guy that has nothing to do with anything, his girlfriend who wants to be part of everything and in the world of celebrities and comics opens her mouth, not realizing how far things can go. You know, and I just think it's messed up, man. You know, it's messed up because something that had nothing to do with Bobby Lee, he is now has the shittiest part of it. He has to go on trying to defend the shit that came out of Kalila's mouth, and he has to defend himself for no apparent reason. He lost a friend in Brian Callen. I'm sure he lost a friend in Brendan Schaub. And who knows how that goes also in their comedic world. If comedians are now having to choose sides and who to talk to and this and that, it's a mess. And I don't know, man. In some way, it does remind me of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation. Not necessarily like there's abuse, but the fact that Amber Heard, you know, when she wrote that article, I think initially the article didn't have Johnny Depp's name in it. And I think the article was about domestic violence or something. It didn't have his name in it. And it got a pathetic amount of views. Nobody gave a shit. until she put Johnny Depp's name in the article and kind of, maybe in some way made it about him, that's when it blew up. And that's what they're in court for now, for defamation. So I'm not saying it's the same thing, but to me, this is not new, where it's like somebody who has, let's just say even a guy who has like a higher status, of success, with a woman who has not that much success, and how much trouble they can give that other person. And it sucks because even though Kalila might be trying to defend their company, Tiger Valley, and their employees and whatever might be going on, even though I think she did it in the wrong way. I think by coming out with it on podcasts, it just it saddens a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like who's the next guest for Tiger Valley? Who's the next guest? And what are they going to talk about? I think it's just messed up. It's just not a good situation for anybody. And, I think this might be a reality check for Brendan Schaub. I don't know if it's like a lack of respect, or maybe he thinks he has some like a higher status because of Rogan. I don't know what he thinks, but I think it is a reality check on him. That it's like, you know what, bro? You got to go about things differently. Mr., I don't subscribe to social media. Dude, you got to at least know what's going on. Had Schultz not let you know that you should talk about this on your podcast, you would have never done anything, and it would have made you look bad. You don't look good already, but I think you got to stop trying to be like Joe Rogan. Be your own man. And try, maybe try a little harder. Don't make this a whole money situation, where you have all these companies, these production companies, these shit ton of podcasts. I don't know your financial issues. I don't know if, I've heard people say you're going broke and all this, but I guess in the words of Schaub, it's getting dicey, man. Especially for him, dude. I don't know. It's crazy. And I feel bad for all parties. Well, let's just say I feel bad for Bobby and Brendan Schaub, and I kind of feel like I just wish Kalila would, I wish she would try to inject herself into things less. I've seen the show so many times, and I love Annie Letterman. I think she's like the highlight of that show. She's hilarious, but I feel like sometimes Kalila gets on my nerves. Like she has every disability in the book. Anytime somebody comes on, say they have some certain type of trauma, she's like, oh yeah, I have that too. And just goes on with some kind of scenario in her life why it means she has it. And it's like, dude, girl, every time you're really fucked up in every way. Well, you have dementia too. What the hell's going on? Like, I don't know. I feel for Bobby Lee, and I hope the best for everybody, and I don't know, like speaking of these Hollywood, what do you call them? I don't know, these Hollywood fucking problems or whatever. I don't know what you call them. You know what I mean? Like, I hate when people act so self-righteous about like, oh, I don't watch that. Those are just distractions about what's really going on. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. You know, I mean, I'm not saying a lot of people know about this, but I was talking to somebody and, you know, this was during the, you know, pretty much the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation. And I was talking to somebody and I was like, what do you think about that? You know, like, have you been seeing? They're like, oh no, ugh, that's just a distraction. They're just trying to distract us from what's really going on. Distract us from what's really going on? What, are you referring to the Ukraine and Russian war that everybody fucking knows about? And what are you gonna do about it? What do you have to say that's gonna change anything for you to be like, I need to be focused on that war because I'm not about to be made look like a fool? Like, that's ridiculous, dude. That's fucking dumb. I don't care how much acknowledgement you have of it. It's gonna be happening whether you like it or not. You know, you're not better than any other situation. You know, and sometimes, dude, how about just have a conversation? You know, like, and the crazy thing is, one time I had I was trying to talk with a comedian and I was trying to like bring up the Ukraine war, you know, with Russia. I was like, hey, what do you, and he's like, oh, does it affect you? Then no, then blah, blah. Like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? It is a current event. It's happening. What, do you want me to tell you about the last shit I took? Do you want me to talk about the density of my shit? Do you want to hear, what do you want to hear? What are you thinking that you need to hear about that's important at the moment? Okay? This self-righteousness shit needs to fucking stop. Okay? Nobody is better than any situation that's going on. I don't give a fuck how low it is, how petty, whatever. If it's happening, if it's in the news, it's something to talk about. I just don't like that shit. And, you know, I've heard other dudes on podcasts, you know, the comedians say like, I'm not talking about that. What? You don't need to be hearing things from me. It's like, bro, dude. Everybody's just elevated over Earth. You know, you guys are all just elevating over humanity. Like, come on, bro. You know, just have a conversation, man. I know nothing's going to change anything. You know what I mean? But none of us, I mean, unless you're in the fucking military or the government, bro, like, you're not going to make a difference on these fucking foreign situations. You know, so why not just have a conversation about it? If we're new to each other and we barely know each other, you know, it's not bad to have like some kind of to talk about a topic that's outside of yourself. You know, and dude, how many times have you heard from people like, oh, all he does is talk about himself? You know what I mean? So that shit just bugs the shit out of me. You know, and maybe it's also I get irritated because, you know, I'm an aspiring comic and I want to be able to talk about things, you know, like I want to be able to you know, build how I speak about things and possibly make it funny. Obviously, I haven't said anything funny yet so far. Obviously, I guess this is just me going on rants. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Maybe that's what they're elevating over, the emotions. Oh no, I will not talk about Amber Heard shitting in the bed. It is beneath me. It is beneath me and it is on Johnny Depp's sheets. So I will not talk about this. Let us talk about fucking, I don't know, bro. I don't fucking know. Fucking bullshit, dude. And I think that's why I dig talking with my homies sometimes, because we can get into these situations where we talk about a lot of things. It doesn't matter because yeah, it's conversation, bro. And you can build your own opinion on things. I guess like it's like what people say, everybody's got an asshole and an opinion, blah blah. Dude, fuck it, bro. I mean, I think as you get older, there is less to talk about, I think, in your life. You know what I mean? Unless you're just traveling or whatever, or doing new things constantly. But even then, bro, like sometimes I think if you're constantly talking about what you're doing, people just see it as bragging. And I don't know. I guess there's just no winning with people, right? There's no winning, because who knows what they're going through, and who knows if they think their shit is so important that they can't think about anything else, I guess. I don't know. Ridiculous, And I don't even know how you can be I mean, everything is a distraction at this point. Social media, fucking television, fucking a goddamn bird singing outside is a goddamn distraction while you're getting hit by a car, dude. Like, come on, man. Don't be afraid to dabble in shit, okay? It's stinky, but it's not that bad. And I'm sorry, folks, for fucking referencing feces all the time. I guess I'm just full of it. I don't know. I have no idea. It's so funny. Like, I try to make attempts at just saying funny shit, as I'm talking, and that's honestly what I'm trying to get better at. It's not easy to just like, to kind of like, I guess I'll call this riffing. It's not easy to just riff and like, you're trying to make your point, I guess, or you're trying to talk about where you come from, and then also tie in like a clever joke. That shit's not easy, man. My girlfriend was telling me like, you need to add da da da, and I was like, dude, like, this is still the beginning, and I'm still getting better. I'll admit I'm not the greatest at it right now, and I will be better. It's gonna take one episode at a time. Like, for the most part, when it comes to preparing for episodes or the shows that I'm doing, like, I'm literally doing it within like the day or the day before and trying to think of topics to talk about. Because I can, yeah, let me just talk about anything. But no, like, if I'm not interested in a topic and I try to talk about it, it's going to fall hardcore. I'm not going to have a lot to say. So, for those of you that are thinking, oh, this motherfucker's not funny for shit, like, I got it, okay? I know I'm not that funny right now, but I will be, okay, motherfuckers, all right? Give me a goddamn break. It will happen. I'm the Brendan Schaub of podcasts right now, okay? I'm not that funny just yet. Jesus, give me a year of this at least. Shit. Yeah, anyway. We got our cat. Yeah, we got our cat. It's a little baby Siamese. I think that's right. Siamese cat. What it's called? I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna be my own Jamie. Jamie, pull up what the fuck is a Siamese cat. Yeah, it's Siamese. Except our cat doesn't necessarily look like a Siamese cat. Yeah, Siamese cats they have like a dark face, They kind of like blended with white and brown throughout their body. My cat, her face, she kind of gives I guess let's just say this. She doesn't look like a traditional Siamese cat, you know? But she's a cutie. We decided to call her Gaia, um, which is I think the Greek goddess of Earth. I like that. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. And the funny thing is actually, I was playing video games and I bought this video game called Werewolf Earthbound. Um, I'm not going to talk about it right now. I barely started it. So far, what about what the game? I'll give it. It's okay. Out of 5 stars, I'll give it like 3.5. It's not bad. It's okay. But anyway, like I think pretty much the storyline is these corporations are fucking up the earth, and these group of people who are like werewolves. I don't know what the fuck. They're able to contact Gaia, which is the goddess of earth and all that, and kind of like be able to communicate with the spiritual world. And that's just like the kind of like somewhat the plot of the. Well, they're trying to in the game they're trying to just like bring down these corporations that are fucking up the earth. That's pretty much the plot of the story. But the name is my girlfriend, she liked it because they kind of explain it, and she liked that, and I told her to go up on to look up Greek goddess names, and yeah, Gaia came up and she liked it. And it's nice having the cat. It's nice, it gives us something that both of us can like focus on and try and like make better besides the home. You know what I mean? It's cool to just like focus on a little thing and try to make it comfortable and whatnot. The thing about this fucking cat though, bro, is like, fuck, man. I don't know if this is just a thing with cats, because, my parents' cat, he was like this young too. These fuckers just want to attack. I'll be just like, I'll say if I'm standing up, she goes right for my fucking ankles. Fucking gets her claws, digs them in my skin, and just starts biting my ankles. Like, what the fuck? At first it was cute, but now it's just annoying. Like the other night, we're in bed, and we're going to sleep, and well, there's nothing we could do at night. She's roaming around, so like I'll be asleep, and at night, like she'll climb up on the bed, and I'll wake up to her fucking biting the shit out of my fucking nose or my ears, like fucking playing with my earrings and shit. I mean, yeah, sometimes I fall asleep with my earrings, guys. They're not the biggest ones, but yeah. But I don't know. She's been annoying the shit out of me lately because of her attacking shit. And at first, like I said, I thought it was cute, but now it's just annoying as fuck. And I don't want to get into like spanking a kitty. You know what I mean? Like, but like, I don't know if they understand like the tone of voice. Stop that. Don't do it. You fucking pussy. I don't know. My girlfriend tells me, she's like, yeah, you gotta use a stern voice on her. And it's like, dude, I think I've tried that. I don't think she understands. Yeah. We still gotta go get her shots. Yeah. We gotta get her shots. I think we're gonna have to get her fixed, man. We're gonna have to. Poor fucking girl cats, bro. Those, girl cats get fucked up in the wild, dude. They get fucked up. Have you ever heard a cat get fucked? It's a horrific sound, man. It's horrific. It's like a painful groan. So I do not want that for her. But who knows? I got to talk to my girlfriend. Maybe she might not want her fixed. Maybe she might want kitties later. Who knows? We'll have to find that out. But it's been cool, you know. We got her set up already, her bed. But she doesn't even fucking sleep on her bed. Maybe she does sometimes, but right now she's like asleep in my girlfriend's, I don't know what you call it, like her cubby drawer or something like that. She found a way to get in there and she's like sleeping on her clothes. But yeah, cats are cool. If there's any cat lovers, maybe you guys could, talk about, mention your experiences on the comments. Let people know what you do with your cats, how you deal with them. Do they fucking attack your tank? Do they attack your ankles? Let us know. There's this other thing going on, and I haven't tried talking about it with people because maybe it's not affecting, or whatever the fuck they say. Like, oh, is it affecting your personal life? But actually, it could affect your personal life. I guess it's this Roe versus Wade thing about the abortions. I just read that they're supposed to be voting on it today, actually. Yeah, and I guess what it sounds like is that there's an overwhelming, I guess, amongst the Congress, they think that they're gonna get rid of Roe v. Wade, where it's gonna make abortions illegal. And I don't know, man. What to me is like, dude, what is up with these red states, dude? And in general, like Republicans, dude, what? I thought we were all about freedom here. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on? You guys want freedom of speech, freedom to just carry guns, a lot of things, and you can't handle abortions. You can handle schools being shot up. You can handle fucking like great wars, but you can't handle abortions? What the hell? Dude, it's 2022. I mean, at this point, how are their values still so closely related to what Republican values were in the 50s and 40s and in the 60s? I don't understand that. Is there any evolution in your political values, or like, I don't even know if that's a political value, but I don't know if you guys know what I'm saying. Like, what the hell, bro? Just let it be legal. I think everybody understands that abortions aren't necessarily healthy, but they might be necessary. Not necessary like in general for everybody, but necessary to be legal. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, there's gonna be, and honestly, I think the worst route is a woman having a baby, not wanting that baby, and then giving it up to the system, making it an orphan, a fucking giving it up to adoption. Because from what I've heard, when you're in those adoption cares or whatever, it sucks for kids, man. Because sometimes there's kids that fuck up other kids. You might get picked up by a family. Like, if you get adopted by a family, some of those families, all they care about is checks. So they just adopt a bunch of kids in a shitty home and are just collecting checks. So I don't know, bro. Like, I think it's just fucked. I understand women not being able to get an abortion after like the first 3 months or whatever the fucking limit is. Like, but just to have it completely illegal is, I do not think is the greatest. I think that's bad. Because I remember, reading a study where, like, say in Latin America, where it is, I think, I don't know how long this study was, but from what I read at that time, there was a study about Latin America that abortions are legal. And what women do, women are so willing to fuck their bodies up to get rid of a baby. Have you guys ever heard of what was it called? Back alley abortions or something like that? Dude, horrific. And the shit that, like, I read, what some women will do is crazy. Some women will get bone shards and shove them up their pussy. Is that what we want? Some women will drink Clorox or bleach or these, like, chemicals to kill. Do we want that? This bitch is gonna fucking end up with a retarded child and shitting blood, causing more health problems. But you're worried about a fucking fetus that probably is like, doesn't even feel shit, maybe doesn't even have pain receptors. Oh, but it has a heartbeat. Shut the fuck up, dude. That shit is basically a worm. I'm sorry for, if anybody doesn't agree with me in this shit, but I'm being I'm exaggerating, but still, like, I think on the, pros and cons, I think there's a lot more cons if abortion is illegal rather than it being legal. It's not good. And I feel like the people who are like, I don't even know the difference. Pro-life, right? Pro-life, I believe, is Jamie. Look it up. What the fuck is pro-life? I believe pro-life is let me see. I believe pro-life is when you're against abortions. I don't know. What does it mean? The Gospel Coalition. Okay, here we go, finally. Pro-life, opposing abortion, and yeah. Dude, if you're pro-life, just don't get an abortion. Just don't do it. And who knows? If you're pro-life, does that go as far as Plan B? And does that go as far as birth control? I don't know, man. Isn't it? I feel like that's, if anything, sometimes I feel like birth control could be just as, irresponsible. I don't know if that's the right thing, but, like, dude, how many bitches are on birth control and still get pregnant? Like, nothing's 100%. I don't know, man. And I guess, like, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a Republican president. 2020, was it 24? Is that when the new election is coming up? There's going to be a Republican president. Everybody's hating on Democrats and liberals. I don't think Trump is going to be the president, but there's going to be a Republican president. And it's going to be tough for some of these social issues, And I wish the best. Whatever happens, I just hope, people can make the best out of it. And, I'm going to say, I think abortions should be legal. I don't think it's always the best route. I don't think people should be uh like obviously if you get pregnant, and it's like a it and it has to happen, then get the abortion if it has to happen. But if it doesn't have to happen, dude, don't get the abortion. Not only does it it kills the baby, but it fucks the women up inside. It fucks you up inside, and I know they go through some kind of depression. So, and I feel like that's what like the pro-life argument always is like, oh, they're just gonna like have abortions left and right. And it's like, dude, that is not true. I don't think chicks are just out there just having abortions, one after the other. Just think about it like a gun. Like Republicans want guns, women want abortions. Just let it happen, bro. It doesn't make sense for it not to happen. You want society to evolve, to progress. In that same article, I think I had read about Latin America compared to, I want to say Europe. I'm just going to generalize it like that in Europe because I know it's somewhere in that area. But I think in Europe, it's legal. Abortions are legal. And I think they also they educate women too. But the ratio of how many women get abortions or illegal abortions, in Latin America, a shitload, dude. And in Europe, it's not compared to Latin America, like they don't have as much abortions because of knowledge and just the availability of that kind of healthcare. So I think that's something to think about. And then who knows, let's just throw a conspiracy out there. What if these red states make these laws for population control? What if they do it to like minimize the population in those states? We have too many people here. Let's come up with some crazy ass law that makes a bunch of them leave. They can all go to California and become homeless. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's tough right now. And let's do our best, Let's do our best, everybody. Do what you can. Try not to get in anybody's way and cause more trouble than there already is. There's a lot going on, and sometimes you just need to take a step back. And probably think about people more than how you feel about a situation. And also, it's 2022. Can we stop using God as our main reference to make decisions? And yes, I'm using that for the abortion argument because I feel like most of the pro-life people who are pro-life are Christians and religious people. Can you not let the idea of God or whatever rule your decisions? Can't you just make like some kind of educated choice or like some kind of compassionate choice or something other than thinking about the Bible or heaven or hell? Put your mind in the world. Stop waiting for Armageddon and death and the afterlife. Make this life better. For everyone. Instead of trying to just make yourself feel better. I just want to feel, dude, if you want to feel better, dude, jerk off or something. Go smoke some weed. Go fuck. You know, if reading the Bible makes you feel better, then fucking read the Bible. You know, don't make a law that's only going to benefit how you feel. Say something, guy. Talk. Oh, now you don't want to say shit. She just woke up. She's out. Well, this was another podcast episode. Thank you guys for listening. But I have more work to do with school, so I got to get this day going. Thank you guys again. I love you so much. Peace.